0, 1, 2, 3. Let's get started.
Oh, that's real good. Oh, that's real good.
Hello everyone, thanks for joining us. Man, what a blast at the range with the very powerful 357 SIG round. I'm pretty sure that Glock was the first one to make the round a success in a polymer frame platform. Of course, it was a round introduced by, of course, Sig Sauer in a all metal frame sometime prior to that, but I believe Glock, correct me if I'm wrong, were the first ones to make it a success in a polymer frame platform. Basically, it's a 40 S&W casing bottleneck down to a 9mm. So essentially, it's a very, very plus P, or as some people say, a pissed off 9mm. It's a very powerful 9mm. And with this gun being essentially the exact size as a Glock 19, I mean, I don't know why you wouldn't, I guess, unless you were recoil sensitive. Speaking of which, I think it was prior to us doing YouTube videos. I could be wrong. Maybe I'll go back and find where we did one. But I had a Glock 32. It was the Gen 3, so we did not have the extended beaver tails or replaceable back straps. And what I found is when I would go to the range, I would, at least one time per mag, sometimes 2 or 3 times per mag, I would have these failure to go back into battery, these stove pipings. I would give it to other people. They would have no issue with it. I got short, fat hands, sausage fingers, as you guys know. And I think what it was, I believe I know what it was, as I gave it, someone else bought the gun from me with a lot larger hands. And to my knowledge, they still carry it to this day without issue, is that I was just having a hard time holding on to the gun with the smaller hands and the heavy hitting recoil. And so, but I was always intrigued by it, and I thought, well, I'll go get the 31, it's a little bigger, but I just never did. I liked it in the 19, setup or size, if you will. So when I saw this compensated model here, thus the Glock 32C compensated, the slide and the barrel both are ported, and so if you notice from the video, you get what look like these big devil horns coming out of the top here. And the fact that I have my options to put a extended beaver tail on the Gen 4, that I was real curious as, can I go back to this? Can I go back to the 32 and have zero issues with it, with having smaller hands? And as you can see from the video, I answered that question, no problems at all. Zero stovepipes, zero problems. Big shout out to Defender Ammunition Company. No, they did not give us this ammo, but we're shouting out to them because they're here in the great state of North Carolina, where we are. And this ammunition gave us zero issues at the range, and it was about half the price is what the normal stuff is on the store shelf. So talk a little bit about some of the upgrades that I always do to a Glock before I ever even shoot it, ever even put a round in it. I always make these upgrades. And first things first, got to get rid of the plastic, just crap sights that come on a Glock. I hate the sights. I always have since day one. Beat me over the head, whatever, I don't care. I put these factory Glock sights on here. I'm not exactly sure. Maybe Trigicon makes them. I'm not really sure, to be honest with you. They're just Glock factory sights. Is what they were literally called when I ordered them. And you got the Novak in the rear and the standard longer, of course, tritium field insert on the front here, and they are steel sights. I did install them myself, and I always put the extended slide lock or slide release, whatever you guys call it. I'll open the box here, show you a little bit about what I did to some of it. So I got the Agency Arms extended mag release. Now the mag release button that came on the Gen 4 was not bad. It was way better than some of the previous gens, so I didn't really get a huge extension, but it did extend it a little bit. The more the merrier. Again, I'm a little bit of a snob about being able to manipulate and eject the mag without having to adjust my grip, so purpose served there. Also, since it is in the 19 platform, people say, well, I got 2 more rounds in the 19, and so that's why I would carry it over the 357 SIG, not necessarily because of recoil sensitivity, but you got these 13 round mags. Of course, it did come with 3, as all the Gen 4s do, but I got this plus, let me see exactly, plus 2. So guess what? I got 15 rounds now. This Pierce grip extension plus 2, put it on here, and I do use this when I carry it like in the truck or something. But this is very carryable on my person as well, so at which time, in an effort to be more concealable, I do use the standard floor plate, the 13 rounder here. And of course it did come with a mag loader, cleaning brush, cleaning rod down there, as you're accustomed to. Again, this is the Pierce grip extension that I used here. And let's see, come with 2 back straps. That's all I seen in there was 2. Both of them had the beaver tail. One of them a lot longer than the other one. And of course, here's the old sights. And let's see what else. I put the Ghost Incorporated or Ghost Inc. extended slide lock here, and that's what I did to it. And typically I'll also, on a Glock, I'll also put an extended takedown lever on here as well, but I decided not to do that on this one. I don't know if it's so or not, but it does seem a little easier on the Gen 4s and 5s to take that down. Maybe that's just me, I don't know, but I decided not to change it. But those are the upgrades that I made to the gun. Again, it's in a Glock Glock 19 configuration, same trigger, same everything that you're accustomed to on the Glock Gen 4. Nothing really different. Again, I changed the sights, the slide lock, the mag release. Comes with 3 13-round magazines. One of them I put the +2 Pierce extension on here, so I got 15 plus 1. 16 rounds of 357 SIG is a beast on your side, in your truck, whatever you decide to do with it, however you decide to carry it, an absolute beast. The overall length on this is 7.36 inches. The barrel is 4.01 inches. The width is 1.18 inches. Height is 4.99, and the weight unloaded, of course, is 24 ounces. It was introduced in 1998, 357 SIG. Of course, striker fired, recoil operated, safe action trigger, polymer frame. It did come with the standard fixed white sights that you see, the U-notch rear. Again, I hate it. Does have the compensated barrel. And it does have the finger grooves on the Gen 4, which I like. It's fine, especially with the grip extension in there. You know, my fingers fit that just fine. They do fit into those finger grooves. I know some people say, well, I like it on the Gen 5 without the finger grooves because my fingers don't fit those grooves. It rides on top of them. It's uncomfortable, whatever the case might be. But on the 19 and the 17, I like the finger grooves. I'm perfectly okay with it. I like the fact that I can put the extended beaver tail. To me, I think that helped me more, maybe possibly more than the comp. Again, I don't know. I'm not a professional on that. Oh, also I did put the aluminum skull rear slide plate on here. Got rid of some more plastic that you see on the Glock. And just like the Gen 4, only has the rear slide serrations. But to speak to the compensated model of this, I very vividly remember the very first time I ever shot the 357 SIG in this platform, uncompensated. And I can tell you that just looking at the round, I let it get the best of me, if you will. Let it get in my head like, okay, whatever, man, it's a 9mm 40 cal at best, right? The recoil really surprised me. It really snuck up on me. Like, wow, you know, that's a handful. You know, and maybe not quite as bad as a Glock 29, but a handful nonetheless. And so I can tell you of a certainty, I've shot a lot more since then. Like to think maybe I'm a little more seasoned. I don't know. That's probably not the case. But if it being compensated is the reason, then it is the reason, because this one handled the recoil way better. In a lot of ways, I wish I could have got my hands on the original one that I had and compared them side by side. And maybe you wouldn't think that it being comped, you know, behind or in front of the front sight would be like today's comps where it's on the end. Maybe it's threaded onto the barrel. Maybe it's got a push button to take it off like on the Terran Tacticals or whatever. Maybe those are better. This is not effective. Now, this was very, very effective. And again, if you were watching the video, you could see the, you know, devil type horns coming out of the top of it. So it's definitely functioning and definitely working. Definitely way, way, way more accurate for me than the original one without the comp. Because again, it just felt as though I could stay on target. It was less barrel rise flip. And again, I don't know how all of that works. I'm not a scientist. I pull a trigger and talk about it. So, but it definitely was less barrel flip or muzzle rise than what I experienced on the original Gen 3. And I was able to stay on target, shoot a little bit faster, and I had zero malfunctions whatsoever. And I did also shoot a couple different brands of ammunition, but the majority of what we shot was this Defender ammunition. I think I shot some Zeller and Bellet, however you say that, you know, S&B, let's call it that, so nobody can call me a, you know, hillbilly redneck or whatever people say. Anyway, absolute blast at the range. Zero issues whatsoever. Definitely happy with this thing. Definitely will be in the rotation of wintertime carry. I've been carrying this in the truck with me. I just love having the power of the 357 SIG round at my disposal. Very, very much more of a knockdown in a defensive situation than your standard 9mm. And after having shot this and the experience I had with it, I can't understand why everybody ain't out there getting them one of these today. Hey, listen, the MSRP on this is about $621 according to Glock's website. However, the place where I purchased this from, they were asking about that, maybe even more. They might have been asking like $649 or something, and they couldn't sell them. They had like 10 of them. They popped it out on the shelf one day for $439. Brand hammer new, like definitely not passing that up. So I picked it up, super glad I did. Now that I have it, I probably, if I would have known prior to getting the cheaper price, I probably would have bought it anyway, just to be honest with you. Very fun gun, very accurate gun, very reliable, as Glock always is. Thanks for watching today, guys. Go over, check out our website, pick up some of our hats, cups, coasters, keychains, bottle openers, all of that stuff, shirts. We have all of that stuff. We make very little off of it, but it would help us a ton if you would go over to gsquaredtactical.com. That's squared with a D, gsquaredtactical.com. Hit up on the gear up section there and just buy some little something. We'll get it shipped out to you. And we promise you, we got the Richardson hats. You'll like them a lot. Make sure you hit the thumbs up. Be sure to subscribe. If you think you already are, YouTube has been unsubscribing some people randomly without their knowledge. Just make sure you're still subscribed. And thanks so much for watching today, guys, and be blessed.